Okay, guys, my name is Nicole Scott, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to onboard one of your clients once they have signed up for credit repair. I am using the software Credit Repair Cloud, and for all of my credit heroes out there, I am going to show you some tips, tricks, and hacks on how to run a much more efficient and smooth running operating machine when it comes to you starting a credit repair business. So let's go ahead and get started. So the way that I have my credit repair cloud set up and the way that I can actually help you set up your credit repair cloud is we have all of our, I guess you can say, potential clients, all of our interested prospects schedule an appointment with us first. So they will go to our calendar and they will schedule an appointment with us. And on our appointment scheduling, there will be a form that the clients will need to fill out. And there will be a series of questions. And all of those questions and all of the information from the schedule will then get automatically put into your credit repair cloud, and your clients will then get put in as a lead. Okay, now what happens if, say, for example, you get a referral? The client isn't put into Credit Repair Cloud automatically, but now you have to actually add the client in manually. Well, in very rare cases, I will have to add a client into our system manually. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to kind of show you guys why you would want to automate this whole process. So that way you don't have to spend so much time entering in clients' information into your system. Now, not everything can be automated, but we want to try to automate as many tasks as possible. Like, for example, getting the clients who schedule an appointment with us, we would want to have them put into Credit Repair Cloud as a lead automatically, along with the appointment questionnaire that they were asked when they were scheduling the appointment. Those types of questions are: what are your credit goals? How soon are you looking to get started? How serious are you about getting your credit repaired? Things like that. You want to ask a series of questions, anywhere between 5 to 7 questions, just kind of getting an idea of what type of client this is, when they're going to be ready to get started, how serious they are in regards to getting started, what their budget is in regards to fixing their credit. That's also going to be a really important question. And, some of those answers are really going to be what you're going to talk about during your initial call. We do offer a free 15-minute consultation to all of our clients who are interested in learning more about our products and services. And I suggest you do the same, because not everyone is going to want to jump in bed with you as soon as they meet you. Just saying. So what we want to do is you want to speak to the client, let them know that you are the person that they need to work with, because this is why you're different. This is what you can do for them. We don't promise a time range, but we do let them know that we have been able to typically help people can take anywhere between 3 months and 6 months, anywhere up to 12 months. It just depends on how much cleanup there is and how much work is needed for their particular situation. So I never give a specific time range. I just say, on average, our clients see results very quickly, but it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. That's typically my standard answer. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and add a client in who was referred to us. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Add a Client button. So again, when you're in your Credit Repair Cloud, these are your top tabs up here. These tabs are really important because these are kind of like your main tabs. So you got your Home button, and this is kind of like your landing page to get to pretty much anything that you would need to inside your Credit Repair Cloud. So in this case, you can always go back to your Home button. If you get lost for whatever reason, go back to that Home tab, and that'll take you to wherever it is that you are trying to get. Okay. So if you want to add a new client, select an existing client, or even go right into disputing, you can do all of those things. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and click Add a New Client, and we're going to go ahead and enter the information in for the client. And what I've done and what I try to do is keep a record of my client's information handy, so that way I don't have to go to a million different places and try to get it. So in this case, just to get the client in, so that way my support staff can finish onboarding the client, what I'm going to do is put in the most important information that I have for the client. And then once we get the account set up, then we can go back and actually define everything, make sure that we have the date of birth correct, make sure that we have the correct mailing address. So this is really just the initial part of everything. Once you go through the actual onboarding process, which this client has already made a payment and they were going to onboard them as well, we just have a different process for that because I have a support team that actually helps me, but I'm doing this video for you guys so that way you can see how I used to have to do it when I first started. Not everyone is going to have a support team to be able to help them. At one point, I was a one-man stop. I was the one-man show for everything. Like I had to do everything myself. I was the support. I was the admin. I was sales. I was everything. And that's a lot of times how you have to start. Don't feel like you're not moving too fast because everyone is at a different pace. And just because you think that I'm having all of the success so early on in my career, or someone else is having so much success early on in their career, that doesn't mean anything. Okay. You are going to have the same success, but you got to put in that work. You have to put in that initial work so that way you can have a smooth operating machine. Okay. You can't expect to hire people to come into your business and figure everything out for you. You have to have a smooth operating machine that you're bringing people into and saying, hey, here's your job. This is how we do it here. This is the system. This is the process, and stick to it. That is how it's done. So when you are putting someone in, you will have to put in like 000 for the last 4 digits of their social just to get their account created inside of Credit Repair Cloud. You don't necessarily need to add an address if you don't have that currently. So again, you want to just put in the first name, last name. That's really all that I do. I don't ever put in a middle name because it's not my job to tell the credit bureaus everything. We want to give them less is better. In this case, first name, last name, email, last 4 of social. If you have the date of birth in front of you, great. If not, you can wait till you get the client's proof documents to put that in. I always require the client send the photo identification, which can be a valid ID, photo ID, state driver's license, a valid, not expired. Okay. You can get social security card, and you can also get proof of residency, which is utility bill, a bank statement, anything that client received in the mail with their name and address on it. We can use that as proof of residency, especially if a client has an ID, a photo ID that has an incorrect mailing address. If your client has an incorrect mailing address, you want to get a proof of address. You really want to tell your client, hey, go get your ID corrected now so I can, you can make my job a lot easier, because it always makes things a lot easier if the address on the photo identification is accurate, because our goal is just to have one address on the credit profile, and you're literally sending them 2 different addresses. So have your client update their address with the DMV and get a new identification or driver's license with their current and accurate address on it. It makes everything much easier because you don't ever want to really put in a previous mailing address. You really want to make it seem like you've been at your address for over 2 years, because that shows stability. And it just makes things so much more complicated when you add an additional address. So again, one name, one address. That is it. That is all. Make sure the date of birth is accurate. And we put the mobile number in with the M. That's the mobile number, home number. If they have a work number they wanted to be contacted at. But we honestly put everything under the mobile because that's the most common here. Now we move on to status. So we have different client statuses, and this is how we keep super organized in Credit Repair Cloud. When we have a client who signs up with us, they are either a group A, group B, or group C. And what that means is when they sign up with us, if they have signed up with us the 1st through the 10th of the month, they are going to be a group A client, meaning we know by the 10th of the month, every single month, their new round of dispute letters are due. Their update on their credit monitoring is due, and we can break up the workload so no one gets left behind. A lot of people are disorganized and their clients don't get the service that they deserve because us as new business owners are not organized. We don't have the right systems and processes in place. If you are going to start a credit repair company, you need to invest in your business, invest in being organized, and make sure that you have the proper tools for your business to properly grow and scale. If you don't have the right setup, it is going to make things very bumpy ride for you. Okay. In this case, if you were waiting for a client for like pending sign up or a payment, you can always put them as a status type. So organize your clients as a status type. Now, Group B clients, those are everyone that has signed up the 11th through the 20th. In this case, this client is going to be Group B because they signed up on pretty much the 14th, which is today. So we are going to put them into Group B. So we know by next month, by the 20th, and we start working on our Group B clients on the 11th of the month every month. Between the 11th and the 20th, we know that we're working on all of these clients that are in this particular group. So we can go through and make sure that all of them have been properly serviced. Their new rounds of letters have been sent out. We've updated their credit monitoring. We've sent them an email with the updates that have transpired. We always email our clients the re-import summary report so that way they can see exactly what has taken place and, give them some additional information on what they would need to do to build positive credit. So we're going to go ahead and select the client status. Again, this is very important. When our clients come in from our calendar, they are just put in as a lead, just a simple lead. So it'll be up to you to actually change the client status type and make sure that you're keeping up with all of these. Okay, it's very important. So client status is going to be B here. And you could put the start date, today's date, or whenever you want to. If the client was referred by anybody, if you have people that are signed up as an affiliates under your business, you would want to select who they were referred by. And that's how your affiliates would be able to monitor the clients that they have referred to you. You want to make sure that your client is assigned to everyone on your team. So you'll notice that this client is going to be assigned to all 5 team members. So that way all 5 team members will be able to work on this client. Now, if that's not something that you wanted to do, you can assign it to just one team member. If you said, hey, I know, it's me and my partner, but this client is mine, you would assign it to yours. Because sometimes people share Credit Repair Cloud accounts because they're growing and they don't want to pay a whole $179. It's just too much for them as a growing business. So they split the cost up between multiple companies. So this would be where you would assign your clients to you. And that's what I would recommend in that regard. But portal access, you want to go ahead and turn that on, because if this is turned off or kept on off, the client will not be able to log in and upload their proof documents to you. So go ahead and turn that on. And then we're going to select the agreement for the client. So this agreement there's a lot of different agreements here, and you can put those different agreements up through the My Company tab, which is right here. You can adjust all your agreements. Now, for this particular client, I actually sent them a DocuSign. That's how I send all my contracts out, for them to digitally sign them. And we put a contract together for the client, send it out via DocuSign, they sign it. So now we already have their signed contract. So we'll actually upload the contract to the internal notes in Credit Repair Cloud. So we have it on file for the client. And in this case, what we'll do is we'll just include this as 6 months prepaid. That's what this particular client got. Now, if you had a client where they're like, okay, I'm doing a special circumstance, and you just need to create a special circumstance contract for that. And you can adjust all the contracts to fit your needs. So if you want to start off at $199 to sign up and $99 a month, make a contract for that. If you have different plans and packages, then you'll need to have a different plan and package for each agreement that you are going to be offering to your clients. So in this case, it's going to be 6 months prepaid, because they've already prepaid for 6 months. And their charge fee plan is going to be left blank. So you'll notice I have my billing set up with Credit Repair Cloud as well. So we've been with them a while. So we actually use ChargeBee, but a lot of people now don't use ChargeBee. They use a different program in here. So, just figure out what's going to be best for you payment wise. It is a lot easier for us to track payments within Credit Repair Cloud. So that way, if, there's a payment issue, everyone on the team knows what's going on. You don't have to, go everywhere, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, all these different places to track down your payments. You're going to make yourself go insane. So, pick your poison. Either have your clients pay you a one-time fee, which is going to be either like Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, however you accept payments, right? One-time payment, or you can break that one-time payment up into like 2 or 3 payments for the client if that works best. But if you are going to be charging a monthly recurring fee for your clients, have a good system set up to where you can easily track it. Don't expect it to be easy if you have a bunch of people paying you monthly, and some people pay Cash App, some people pay PayPal, some people pay this, that. No, streamline everything so that way you have everyone on recurring payments inside of your Credit Repair Cloud where you don't have to worry about anything, and it makes your life a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. You'll notice it doesn't have the correct address. That's fine because we just don't quite have it yet. But when we do, we can go back in and change it. So now you'll see the client profile has been successfully created. And what we're going to do now is actually import the credit report into the Credit Repair Cloud. Now, I don't recommend creating the letters until you actually have the correct birthday and address in the system. But now the client will actually get an email with their login credentials so they can actually upload all of their proof documents. So I'm going to show you what the email looks like that was sent to your client because we have everything copied. So now this is the email that your client will see on their end, and they can click on that and they'll be able to log in to their account. Okay. So back to the basics here, and we're going to go over to the one-click import and audit, and we're going to actually select Smart Credit because Smart Credit is our preferred vendor. And if you are not an affiliate with Smart Credit, I highly recommend signing up using the link below to sign up to be an affiliate with Smart Credit. It is completely free and you will definitely make more money. And it is the same information that you are getting from Identity IQ. So there's really no difference from Smart Credit to Identity IQ. A lot of people are just not familiar with how Smart Credit works. Also, when you're using Smart Credit, you don't need to have a security word or anything like that. So it makes it a lot easier. You're just using the email and the password. So we're going to go ahead and import the credit report. I never save it. Sometimes your computer might ask you, but go ahead and just connect to the credit monitoring. Credit monitoring app is going to actually bring in all of the account data that is on the client's credit report into your Credit Repair Cloud. So that way you can properly go through and tag it and create all of the dispute letters for your client. And that's another thing that makes software and automation a lot easier is you don't have to go through and copy and make the letters. You have everything at your fingertips. Now, sometimes you might get an error message, but read the error message and see what's going on. Now, this error message is saying, hey, your 3-bureau credit report is 4 days old. Do you want to order an update or you want to continue with the available report? Of course, we want to continue with the available report because we don't need an update after 4 days. So we're just going to go ahead and hit continue with the available report. Click right on that word where it says continue with the available report. Now, I've seen a lot of people get a lot of error messages when they work with Identity IQ because sometimes it just does not work properly. So you want to go directly to the credit monitoring website and try to log in and see if it's an issue with the login credentials or if it's an issue with something else. Okay, so now we've got the Smart Credit report in here. Here's the credit analysis, and we can go ahead and just email that over to the client. And basically the client's now going to get this nice credit analysis that's going to let them know exactly what the issues are with their credit. Here's all the issues, here's some of the inquiries. This is what we're going to be working on, so on and so forth. Now that you've got the credit report imported, you want to move on to the next phase in this process. And you can go ahead and hit next. You can go as far as tagging the report, and that's about as far as you can go right now until you get the birthday, the address, and all of the proof documents completed, meaning, the client can update them on their end. You can also have the client send you the documents directly, so that way you can upload them. So now you'll see all of these tabs right here. So these are all the main tabs up top. Okay. These tabs down here, these are all your client tabs, all client related tabs. Internal notes, upload everything into your internal notes. Okay. If you have a contract that was signed in DocuSign, upload it into the internal notes. Put internal notes into everything, every account, so you can keep track of what has transpired with your clients. Okay. In the client dashboard, if you wanted to upload your proof documents for your clients, say they're like, okay, well, I don't know how to do it. I'm just going to text you the documents so you can do it. Okay, great. You can go ahead and just click on choose file and you can upload them from your end. Now, I do recommend that you have the client sign the agreements, because that's what's going to give you the right to work on the file. But like I said, we already have the client sign a DocuSign, so we already have that on file. But if you don't, Credit Repair Cloud has a built-in client agreement that you can use as well. Now, once we have the pending report, we want to go ahead and what I call tag it. We want to tag the report. And what this means is we want to basically create all of the disputes that we're going to be sending out for the client. And this is actually a good example for you guys to be able to see, because we want one name, one address, one name, one address. So you start at the personal information first. Okay. One name. So pick the name properly. If it's going to be Nicole Scott, it's going to be Nicole Scott. We don't want Nicole J. Scott, Nicole Jean Scott. We want one name and one address. So in this case, there are some differences between the bureaus. So this address, it says one blank, 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 and then it says the address, but the unit number is after the address. We want to make sure everything reads properly. Okay. Everything should read properly. If it does not read properly, you want to dispute it. And if you see any personal information like birthday, name, you can literally just click on it to dispute it. So in this case, what we're going to do is just going to dispute any old information that is outdated, and just previous addresses. We can get all of those that are outdated and off. Even if you have an address that is not reading properly, like saying the address, the number of the address is this, but then after the number, it's the unit number, that is wrong as well. So you want to go ahead and just let them know that the address is wrong. So in this case, we can dispute a lot of it and just say, hey, look, the only correct address that I have is this, and there's nothing else that is correct. Now, once we've got the personal information, you move on to the credit inquiries. Now, doesn't matter whether or not you freeze the third-party credit reporting companies. In my professional experience, it doesn't really matter. I have not noticed a huge difference in people freezing their third-party bureaus and not freezing their third-party bureaus unless they have a bankruptcy. So if you want to get started on someone's credit profile right away, go ahead and get started. You can send them a list of places that they can opt out online, or they can call, but it really doesn't make a huge difference, okay? Especially when it comes to inquiries. So what we want to do is just go ahead and dispute any inquiry that is not tied to an open account. And the way that I can tell is looking at their credit report. Again, we're reading the information. U.S. small business, we can dispute that because there's no trail. They can't really tell. Now, this next one, Synchrony, we'll just go through the credit report and see if the client has an account with them, which it does not look like they do. So we're going to go ahead and dispute that. There's no account here. Typically, a lot of the car dealerships that they've applied for will be able to dispute those. Synchrony, TJ Maxx, if there's no account with any of these, then we want to go ahead and dispute them and get them off of there. So we did see one for Fingerhut. We'll go ahead and leave that. And then I don't think anything else. Oh, this other inquiry is actually, they do have an account with this, so we're going to leave that. So we were able to dispute a lot of the other inquiries. We're just going to go ahead and select the reason. If you have not put in your own reasons to Credit Repair Cloud, please do so. Do not use the reasons that come with Credit Repair Cloud that everyone else in Credit Repair Cloud or that has purchased Credit Repair Cloud is using. It's not hard to do, but I literally have a cheat sheet that you can purchase. And if you DM me, I will get you the cheat sheet that has all of the reasons and instructions that you can put in here. You can put, for these inquiries, we're just going to put, let's see here, what would be best fit. And you can always use the word unknown. You can use fraud data. You can put inquiry not authorized by me. You can put, whatever, try different things out. The way that you find hacks is by being creative and trying new things. Okay. That's how you find what is going to work. Using information or using words that have to do with the law as well, like not authorized, no permissible purpose or other reason. Let's use that. Not authorized. When an inquiry is on your credit, they must have permissible purpose, and there's no permissible purpose. So we're going to put no permissible purpose or other reason. And then I'm just going to put please delete, or we could just put please delete immediately and confirm in writing. That's what we can put. Delete immediately and confirm in writing. It could be that easy. Now, when we are going through the accounts, look at the more details to look at your client and see if the credit utilization is affecting them. So that way you can advise the client whether or not certain accounts are affecting their credit. Because just because an account isn't in red doesn't mean that it's not affecting the credit. It just means that it doesn't really need to be disputed. Okay. But you can always change it from positive to negative or whatever. Understand how the software works and what it is meant for is half the battle. So in this case, you'll see that this account that is in red is only reporting to Equifax. So what we're going to do is just try to get this account off of the credit profile. So what we're going to do is you can put the word unknown. You can put fraud account data, because in this case, it is saying the payment status was 60 days late 3 times. That is impossible. How can you be 60 days late 3 times? You've never been 30 days late. You have to be 30 days late before you can be 60 days late. So we can dispute it based on, hey, this account information is in fact fraudulent and we want it removed. So in this case, this is primarily based on the late payment history. So we're going to put late payment status is inaccurate. I have never been late. We can also put unverified/inaccurate. We can put late payment status is wrong. I've never been late on this account under the CARES Act, if it was covered under the CARES Act. So, with late payments, you want to just, the magic word is late payment status is inaccurate. I have never been late on this account. Please update to paid as agreed. Please update to paid as agreed. You can say, please remove inaccurate reported late payments, update to paid as agreed. It can be that simple, okay? Late payment status is inaccurate. I have never been late. Please remove inaccurate reported late payments, update to paid as agreed. That is very clear. We want to stay very clear and very brief, okay? Now we move on to, these things that are like child support. So again, if you see data that is inaccurate from bureau to bureau, you can potentially say that it's unknown, unverified, it's fraudulent data, the account is, a violation because of whatever, typically we just say fraud data, fraud account data, because of the fact that how are you verifying the last payment? The last payment here is 2017 and the last payment here was 2022. So that's fraudulent. That data is not right. And it's going to get their attention so that way they can correct it. This account is inaccurate and I'm seeking litigation. Please delete it immediately. You can also say that. That's another good way to get their attention. Seeking litigation, please delete immediately. Here's another one. We're going to go ahead and say the same thing. Fraud account data. Again, you can say unknown, unverified, whatever you want, whatever the situation is. But you can always play around with it and base it, whatever the situation is. But if you want to just kind of keep it simple, fraud account data, please delete. Inaccurate account data, please delete. If they don't, round 2, pinpoint what the issues are, send screenshots, send proof documents. Round 2 is gonna most likely always require some sort of proof because you've disputed it, nothing happened, now what, right? And round 2 is proof. Send a screenshot of the credit report as proof. Send a letter from the creditor saying that you've already contacted them as proof, But that is it for now. That's how you go through and add a client, tag their credit report, and start with their dispute process. So again, now all that we have to do for this client, now that we're here, this is the dispute items. You can view this in a list view, or you can view it in a report view. So there's 2 different views, and you just have to pay attention to all of the different tabs that are in Credit Repair Cloud so you can get an idea of what, is going to be best for you. If for some reason you wanted to add another item that's not on the credit report that maybe just popped up and is not quite on the old credit report that you got, you can always add a new item manually here, which is nice. Most part, now we're just going to be waiting for the client to provide us with their proof documents so we can update the address to report accurately, get the birthday updated, and get everything ready to go so that way we can start the dispute letter process. So again, guys, my name is Nicole Scott. This is how you add a client in Credit Repair Cloud, start disputing all of their items from their credit reports. If you feel like you need additional help, coaching, or guidance with Credit Repair Cloud, feel free to reach out. We have different coaching packages on our website at therealnicolescott.com, where I teach entrepreneurs how to be financially fit. We're also starting a mentorship in March. On March 1st, every Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to be having a mentorship on how to repair credit, how to start your credit repair business, and how to start building business credit. So if this is something that you find very interesting, you're like, hey, look, I could totally make a career out of this. I want to fire my boss. Join the Fire Your Boss mentorship starting March 1st, every Tuesday and Thursday in the month of March at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to go every Tuesday and Thursday for 2 hours, and we're going to be talking about credit. So again, guys, make sure that you leave me a comment, give me a like, ask me some questions, make sure we can get this video out to as many credit heroes as possible so you guys can help people reach their goals and not allow people to fall victim to bad credit any longer. It's not fair, and it definitely holds so many people back from getting, anything in life that they deserve, whether that be jobs, homes, cars, even insurance rates, everything really reverts back to credit. So it's so important for you guys to make sure that you take this serious when you are offering it to someone and you are providing people with the absolute best service possible, because you are the credit hero, you are the professional, and you are here for a reason. Until next time, guys, I'm Nicole Scott. Take care.